Welcome to the Epcotian Adventure,
a podcast where we talk about all things Disney, but we're Epcot-centered.
including tips and tricks, festivals and favorites, and the very latest in our rankings and reviews.
But we're still old enough to remember when we never dreamed we'd get to check this one off the bucket list.
This is episode 121, our review of Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge at the Walt Disney World Resort.
Or, sitting on your balcony with a cup of coffee and watching giraffes. Maybe you really can buy happiness.
So now please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, paws, and legs inside the podcast as we embark on our Epcotian adventure.
We call it Epcot.
Howdy folks, and welcome to episode 121 of the Epcotian Adventure. I'm Rod.
And I'm Sue.
And just a few weeks back, you probably already heard us talk about this, but we went to Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, and that's all we did. It was such a unique vacation for us. We never don't go to the parks. We never don't go to Epcot.
Is that a sentence?
I know, those words don't seem to go together.
That was weird.
But yeah, we did.
Yeah, this was one of those weird trips that kind of came together accidentally. We were looking at Disney Plus deals that you could get, and at the time, they were running a special where they were running some crazy good hotel deals. So we started looking at, maybe this is the time to do a trip. We never go in the summer, but, maybe. And then Rod found the deal of all deals, Savannah View at Animal Kingdom Lodge. For, what was it, like $385,
I think is what we ended up paying, which is like half of the rack rate.
We're going to go over pricing, so you're going to see what a great deal that was. That is still a stinking lot of money to spend for a hotel in our book. So for us, because this was a bucket list hotel, we, like Rod just said, we decided not to do parks. We decided to make the hotel the destination, and it turned into one of the best trips. It was so good.
So this was a bucket list thing that's been with Sue and I for decades, really, since the lodge opened. It's one of the high-end resorts at Disney World, so it's something that is a little out of our price range normally.
A lot out of our price range normally.
And I just jokingly looked it up during the Disney Plus event that they had going on back in, I think it was March or April.
Something like that.
And believe it or not, Savannah View was cheaper than the parking lot view. It was bizarre, and we did it over a holiday weekend.
Yeah, this was over July 4th.
That's crazy. That's crazy low. And you won't believe what we found for this Christmas even. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Seriously.
So what is Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge? Well, it is the lodge nearest Animal Kingdom. So it's kind of self-explanatory. It is separated by two different locations. One is the original lodge and one is a DVC property.
So Jumbo House is where we stayed. This is the main building. And then Kidani Village is the DVC property. You can get back and forth between the two very, very easily. It's a very nice, simple walk if it's good weather. Or there is a shuttle that runs back and forth just continuously all day long. So very easy to get back and forth.
So this is one of those resorts at the end of the rainbow, so to speak. This is at the very edge of the Disney property. It's on the far side of Disney's Animal Kingdom Park. So if you're headed into the resorts, you follow the signs, of course, but you'll end up going past Disney's Animal Kingdom, and it's literally at the end of Osceola Parkway.
And there's a reason for this. And that reason is Savannah View Rooms.
They have their own zoo. It's
not a zoo.
Sorry, not a zoo. They have
Always
their own
have to say it.
savannas, but no jeeps trundling through them like at the theme park. You get to see these from your balcony in your hotel room. It's insane. It's absolutely, I can't even say the words. It's breathtaking.
It truly is. It is a spectacular use of fundage.
Yeah.
But like we were saying, if you're going to do it, try to do it. Like, don't book Animal Kingdom Lodge Savannah View if you're going to do parks all day and just sleep in your room. It would not be a good use of that.
It wouldn't be worth the money for the expense, really, of a high-end resort. But you're also wasting so much time just being in a zoo. I'm sorry, in a savannah. It's not a zoo.
Not a zoo. So we kind of teased that we were going to talk about pricing. Let's just jump into pricing real quick, and then we'll backtrack and sort of do.
Yeah, of course. That's a good idea, because there are 3 classes of rooms besides the DVC, and they have basically a parking lot view, or what they refer to as resort view. Then they have a water view, which is the pools, because this is not over by the lakes at all. So the water view here is just a pool view. And then the coveted Savannah view.
Which is why you go, if you're going to stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge, splurge the extra amount and get a Savannah view.
And it's not that much more. I mean, realistically, it's not that bad.
I mean, when you're breaking it down and spending the money anyway.
Yes, exactly.
It's like we say with Coronado. Like, if you're going to do Coronado Springs, do the tower. Otherwise, you're just getting a room.
Yeah, you might as well be at Caribbean Beach.
Or Pop.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So, yeah. So, yes, resort pricing. Room pricing. So, we looked up what it would be for this year for the end of September, and then we're going to compare that to next year spring break. So, you're sort of getting a regular night pricing and a more expensive night pricing. So, these may not be the extremes, but this is what we looked up.
And we'll just say right up front, I just did. It's a deluxe resort, so you're going to notice this pricing still sounds expensive. But remember, there are a lot of ways to get some discounts on these prices. These are rack rates we're going to talk about. So the value resorts are the cheapest. The moderate resorts are the next up. This is a deluxe resort.
All right. So resort view, which Rod said is pretty much parking lot view, is going to be $575 roughly towards the end of September this year, 2025. Next year, spring break-ish time would run you about $627, and this is per night. Based on double occupancy, if you have more than that, it may cost you more.
One thing to note, too, is they do charge higher rates for a king bed versus 2 queens. 2 queens is actually the cheaper route, which is backwards from some places like Marriott that is the other way around.
Right. They charge you like per bed as opposed to the size of the bed. Yeah, I don't know how that works.
It's only about $10 to $15 more. But just note that if you want a king, it is a little higher rate.
Rod, give us those water view rooms.
So water view rooms, these are, again, this is a pool view. Right now, they're running about $637 for a king or $618 on the low end. That's rack rate again. So again, you can get discounts on this. Over spring break in 26, those rates are going to be about $738 on the rack rate.
And again, per night.
Per night, yes. And again, it's going to go up if you have more than 2 people. They do charge an extra person fee for adults. I think you can still get some kids in there. Yeah, you have to double check with your travel agent or double check with Disney on that, of course, because everything changes every year.
Right. Or within the year even.
And then
Savannah View.
Savannah View.
And this is why you go to Animal Kingdom Lodge. So Savannah View, toward the end of September, is going to be $772 to $788. And 2026 spring is going to run about $895, so roughly about $900 per night.
Now, one thing we found, because originally we were looking at Christmas and New Year's to try to get the higher rates, the rates went down.
Only by about $10.
But they went down.
From September to the coveted week of between Christmas and New Year's.
That's crazy. One of the big reasons, though, is this resort is the furthest out of the deluxe resorts. It also is not on a monorail or Skyliner. So that makes a big difference to a lot of folks.
I would think, though, like the Savannah View, I would think would be even better because the cooler temperatures would allow the animals more time during the day to roam.
That's a good point.
So I don't know. It was really interesting to us that we found that. So there's a little tip.
So on either side of Jambo House and Kidani Village, there are 4 savannas. There's the Arusha, the Uzima, the Sunset, and the Pembe. It's P-E-M-B-E. I'm not sure if it's Pembe or Pembe or... But that one's over at Kidani only. The big one that you see from the restaurants is the Sunset Savannah and the Arusha. And then Uzima is over on the right-hand side, which is only then visible from the Jumbo House. So each room that has a Savannah view may be in a different Savannah with a different group of animals. It's hard to tell what you're going to get. We had giraffe and we had water buffalo and what else did we have? We
had kudu, we had oryx, we had some kind of stork, we had ostrich.
We had one I couldn't identify, so I think it may have been new.
This is Gary Ganu, and the No Ganus is Good Ganu Show.
Oh, that's
See,
bad.
Jungle Cruise came back. Okay,
That-
sorry.
that's
And
bad.
sorry, you said there was one other there.
And on our very last morning, we finally got to see the okapi. They are my favorites. They are absolute gorgeous animals. If you're not familiar with an okapi, I always say it's like an elk wearing zebra pants. So they are the closest relative to a giraffe. They are beautiful. They just blow my mind every time I see them that they are an actual living creature because they don't look real. They look like something that a 5-year-old would draw.
It just proves God has a sense of humor.
Seriously.
Because seriously, it looks like they were made out of spare parts.
I love them. I absolutely love them. And 3 of them appeared on our very last morning there. So very excited. Mostly we saw giraffes and kudu.
Yeah, the vibe and theme here at this resort is grandeur. There's no other way to put it. When you first walk in to the Jumbo House, it's an African village. It is as grand and amazing as if you walked into the 4th floor of the Contemporary or the Grand Floridian or the Wilderness Lodge.
Even more so, I think.
It's on that scale. And then you look around and there's African art everywhere. It's breathtaking.
And many, many times you'll find artisans working from Africa that come over and work at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and they are creating these pieces of art, and they are creating things that you can actually purchase in the gift shop right there. And it is amazing. It is absolutely stunning. And the actual architecture, I keep saying actual.
It's the truth. It's actual.
The
It is actual
architecture. The actual.
yeah.
The actual architecture is based on a ceremonial house in the African tradition, and it is, like Rod said, it is just breathtaking. It is stunning to walk in that building. I adore it. Kidani Village, equally stunning. I posted a picture from our review last time. I'll post that again in this one, but it's just, I'm trying to think of another word besides stunning, but it's pretty.
There's no other way to put it. It's just, you cannot find another resort at Disney World with this much awe to it when you walk in.
Yes.
In my opinion, anyway.
It is breathtaking.
To me, this was my favorite room, too, that we've stayed at.
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
I think by far.
So our room overlooked the savannas, and it was it was amazing. You could go out and sit on a zebra-themed chair on your balcony.
I'll post a picture because they were cute.
Just so cute.
Mine was a giraffe, I think, actually.
I think so, yeah. And sit there and sip coffee or an adult beverage or something and watch the animals walk by. It felt kind of like being on a cruise ship and sitting on the balcony of a cruise ship and watching the ocean go by because it changed constantly. You know, at night it was amazing. At daybreak, went out really and saw the sun rise out that way. Just, again, breathtaking. I can't come up with a better word.
This was literally a dream of mine. This moment of having a balcony on the savannah, sipping a cup of coffee in my PJs and watching giraffes was the moment I was after. And again, that's why we didn't do the parks, is we wanted that experience. We wanted to be able to experience where we were and what we were enjoying, what we were paying for without feeling rushed, without going, oh, the park's about to open, or here comes the guy to feed the giraffe, but we've got to go down and get to this reservation. Or, there was none of that. It was just about relaxing and enjoying the moment. And this room made it so easy to relax and enjoy.
The rooms are all African inspired. Lion King is the main theme that you're going to see in the rooms.
But very subtle.
Yeah, we walked in, and the first thing we did, both of us, was just stand there, jaws agape.
Close your mouth, please, Michael. We are not a codfish.
And just looking at this room going, this is the best room on property. And seriously, I don't think I've ever stayed in a room that I enjoyed as much as this.
I did take a couple of pictures. I'll post those as well. They're not great pictures because, I'm not a professional photographer, first of all, but you just can't capture all of the little details, So, like Rod said, there's subtle Lion King theming, mostly in the colors and, like, the backgrounds of things.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. There was a small Simba occasionally around the room, too, like the graphic you see that Rafiki does.
It is time.
Yeah. It came with 2 queen beds that we had. It had an adjoining room, so you could have larger families. The room also came with the normal amenities you would expect at a Disney resort. So it had the refrigerator, it had a small Keurig, and some tea, which I thought was nice.
It was, and coffee.
And coffee, yes.
Coffee
to
pods
go with
as
the
well,
Keurig,
yeah.
of course.
But they had both.
Decent sized bathroom. The backsplash in the shower was really cute.
It was beautiful. It was like African sunset. It was really neat. Rod, you talked about the chairs on the balcony, but they are they're iron, but the back of them is, I want to say carved. That's not the right word for iron. Molded, shaped.
Shaped, yeah.
To be one of the animals. So I think there was a giraffe and a zebra, there was a cat of some kind.
And
lion.
There may be others in the balconies. We didn't snoop.
Because we only had 2 chairs.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, it was just absolute wood and earth tones all throughout. It's a big room, really nice size. What you'd expect from a deluxe resort, I should say. It's not, I don't want to oversell it, I guess, and make people think they're walking into a palace. It's a hotel room.
And then if you do want bigger rooms, you can get those over at Kidani Village. You can rent the 1 and 2 bedroom suites that they have over there for DVC, but you can rent them as a hotel room as well.
Right, and then you'll have the laundry facilities in your room, and you'll have the kitchenette, and all of that stuff that comes with the DVC properties.
To me, though, the best part about staying at Jumbo House is the food. Now, you've also heard us talk about Boma and Jiko in different episodes. We also just talked about Sanaa the other day, which is over at Kidani Village. Let's talk about some of the QSRs, though, because this is where, if you're there with a family, the kids are going to want to go here, because this is where you get the burgers and the fish sticks or the chicken strips.
Well, and honestly, you're going to want to go there too, because you're not going to want to do a sit-down meal every time you need to eat something.
And at the Mara, which is the QSR at Jumbo House, they have the much talked about zebra domes. Zebra domes are those really popular desserts that you always hear about that consist of an amarula cream liqueur mousse surrounded by a layer of white chocolate drizzled with chocolate and chocolate shavings. And it's on a little cake, kind of a cookie almost. And you can get them in the Boma, which is the one we talked about a while back for breakfast. You can get them there at breakfast and dinner, both. But you can get them in the QSR over at the Mara right out of the little case. So you can buy like a dozen of them. If you want.
They come in a little 4-pack.
Yeah.
So very easy to share. And we did. We got some and we shared them. This was on our friend Emily's list to do while we stayed at Animal Kingdom, and we definitely took care of that. The Mara, we looked it up. It does mean spotted land, which is to mimic the appearance of the Masai Mara National Reserve, which I thought was really cool. And they do have breakfast, quick service, nothing all that extraordinary
Except
on the breakfast menu.
Babooty.
We never know. Bobody, babodi. So we never really know how to say that. But however you say it, they do have it there. We talked about it a lot being available at Boma at the buffet breakfast, but they do have it as a breakfast at the Mara for the quick serve as well. And then they do have lunch and dinner as well over at the Mara, and you're going to find cheeseburgers and salads and flatbreads, sandwiches, but not everything, but they also are going to have optional things that have a little bit more of an African flavor twist. So make sure that you're looking at the menu and you're getting what you want. But one of the examples that I just thought sounded really good was they do it's called a bray chicken flatbread. And this is oak-fired chicken, sun-dried tomato, pesto, bacon, red onion, mozzarella. And it has, I don't even know how to say it, so I'm not going to try. But it has a special African spiced ranch dressing, which to me, ranch is always a plus. But when you throw in unexpected spices, I love that. Your kids may not. So just make sure that you're looking at those menus is kind of the point there. They do have a kids menu as well where you're going to find things.
Chicky
nuggies and cheeseburgers and things that are a little less adventurous. So you can get a little bit of that flavor even at the quick service, or you can get quote unquote safer options for your kid, for you and your kids.
If you're staying at Kidani Village, seasonally they do have some grab and go at Sanaa. Generally, during the off-season, they're not serving breakfast over there, though, so you may end up at the Mara or Boma for breakfast if you're at Kidani. But it's a DVC property, so they have grab-and-go things also in their store there.
Yes.
And assuming you're going to make things yourself in your kitchen, in your room.
Right.
But for me, breakfast is Boma. We've talked about this in episode 56. It's absolutely one of our favorite places to eat breakfast. As far as breakfast buffets go, anywhere around the resort, it's also the one of the most economical ones.
Agreed. It is all you care to enjoy. It is $39 for adults, $23 for kids for breakfast. That is current pricing, of course. And again, listen to that episode 56 if you want some details on what that entails. But we always recommend this. They have beautifully spiced dishes for breakfast and for dinner. And they also have some more Americanized things to please pick your palates. The dinner buffet is $58 for adults, $34 for kids. We haven't actually done the dinner buffet in years. I would love to go back and do it again.
It's been a long time, yeah.
It is good. We will say that without hesitation. It is a good dinner.
They have that lamb and beef babooty again, or bobity.
Bobity.
It's just kind of a thing that they have. It's very tasty. Tamarind barbecue ribs. African spiced steak.
But why I go.
The butternut squash soup.
Butternut squash soup. It is so good. If you are at all a fan of autumnal spices and flavors, this is the soup for you. It is so good.
So they do dinner from 5 to 9:30, and Sue just gave you the pricing on that. It is recommended to have reservations for both breakfast and dinner, because they both do fill up. But they do have walk-up lists.
And they do not do lunch service here. So for lunch, head over to Sanaa at Kidani Village. We just did a recent review of their dinner. It's in episode 116 if you want to check that out.
Yeah, they open at 11 for lunch, though.
Yeah, so which is handy.
A great option.
At lunch, they do have that burger that we are dying to try. Dinner is a little more adventurous, so make sure that you're taking a look at those menus. But no matter when you go, make sure you get the bread service.
Oh, it's all about the bread service. Listen to episode 116 of the Epcotian Adventure for more on Sanaa.
And then last but certainly not least is Jico, the cooking place. And Jico actually does mean the cooking place. We looked that up. We love that.
Just to make sure.
And this is their table service restaurant. It is a signature restaurant, which means if you are using the Disney dining plan, it is going to cost you 2 dining credits. And there is a dress code, which at Disney basically means don't wear a bathing suit. So they're pretty lenient on their dress code. But you are going to want to feel a little bit, at least cleaned up, even if you're not going to dress fancy. You probably aren't going to want to go straight from the parks over there. You're going to want to feel a little bit clean, nice, nicer, cleaner. I know words.
Just more upscale.
Words are good.
One thing I found out too, Jico in Japanese means accident. So you may not see a lot of Asian tourists visiting Jico.
That's so
but
funny.
Trust me, don't not go there because of that name. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, make sure you have Jico on your list if you can at all do it. It is higher end, it is going to be higher cost, and it is a lot less kid-friendly in its menu options.
There is a kids menu.
There is, yes.
But it's, again, they're going to feature those African spices again. So make sure that you know what you're getting into when you make a reservation, because it is not cheap. It is not an inexpensive dinner. Some of the things featured on the menu that you're going to find are going to be a seared venison loin, a Moroccan spiced lamb shank, a Botswanan short rib, which is Merlot braised, and our favorite thing that we get, I think, both times we've been, is the filet with the mac and cheese.
Yeah, it was really, really good. It's funny, we haven't done a review of Jico, but we've been there a few times, or a couple times, and highly do recommend it. Even if you're not staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. I think we've mentioned it in several different episodes.
Yes.
We should probably go back someday and do another review.
We absolutely should.
For science.
We did skip it when we were there because we had other dinner plans that we were doing. We hit every other restaurant that they have, but we did skip Jico this time.
One of our favorite places at Animal Kingdom Lodge is just above Boma and Jico, and it's called the Victoria Falls Lounge.
Named after Dr. Falls.
Definitely, yes. Yes. They're open from 4 to 11, and this is an open-air lounge that sits kind of between the main lobby, down a few feet, and then down a few more feet to get to the restaurant. So it's like right in the middle of everything. Looks like it's perched on a tree. It's really
That's a good way to look at it. I hadn't thought of that.
It's a really cool space, but the best part of it, it's open till 11, so if you're going to the parks, come over here before you go back to your room and just get a late-night snack and a late-night beverage. We did that both nights, and it was so much fun.
We were staying there. We've mentioned before, our friends John and Em were staying in a room just across the hall from us. So we got to experience all of the Animal Kingdom Lodge things with them, which was so much fun. But going to the lounge every night, Victoria Falls, and getting a drink and just sitting around and chatting, seriously, like, my favorite memory of staying there, other than the okapi on the balcony, of course. But it was just such a great thing. And when you're not staying at a hotel, it's harder to hit up the lounge late at night because you either have somewhere else to be, or you're hitting a park first thing in the morning and you need to go back and sleep, or you don't want to drink and drive.
Transportation options.
Yeah.
All they have at Animal Kingdom is the buses because it's so far out there.
Right.
So that's just one thing to note. If you're thinking of going here only, the buses stop running at a certain point and you're kind of stuck. So
I mean, you can always Uber and minivan.
Well, that's true. Okay, one of the things I got to point out, they have a spiced goat cheese dip that we did with naan. One of the best things I ate the entire weekend.
It is so good. You do have to like goat cheese. It is very heavy on that sort of tangy goat cheese flavor, which we happen to love. So this was a big bonus for us. And it was served with fresh naan, and it had just a little, like a swirl of a spice, like a chili spice running through it. It is so good. Now, if you look at the menu online, you aren't going to find this because it just says seasonal bites. From what I've heard, this spiced goat cheese dip is always on the menu. So make sure, if you don't see it, make sure you ask for it. We had a absolutely fantastic server. We actually had him both nights. His name was Benedict. Shout out to Benedict. You were fantastic.
Thank you, sir. You made our evening.
And we did go in and put in cast compliments for him. Always make sure you do that in the Disney World app. When you have great service, shout it out. So highly, 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 highly recommend Victoria Falls Lounge. Rod, what did you get to drink?
Well, I got the beer named Kungaloosh because, being an ex-skipper, I had to. Very heavy on clove. I did not enjoy it, unfortunately. So I switched over to something that our friend John suggested, which was the...
Now, hang on. I'm going to say what I got and didn't like as well.
Right.
And then we'll talk about the one that we got.
Good idea.
I got the Prickly Pear Mule, which is African vodka, Belle de Brie pear liqueur, prickly pear, ginger beer, and lime. I got that with gin in place, an African gin instead of the African vodka. I did like that one, but then I got the Baobab 75. This was African rose gin, Graham Beck Brut Rosé, lemon juice, and pure cane syrup. It was nice. It was a little too acidic for me, so I didn't finish it. But then, our friend John, thank you. He introduced us to a drink called the Spiced Chai Colada.
I ended up getting 2 of these. They were so good. It's a coconut rum with... Oh, sorry. It's a African coconut rum with a chai cream liqueur and Dole pineapple juice.
It sounds so basic, doesn't it? Please trust us. Get this drink. If you like, you have to like these flavors. You have to like coconut. You have to like rum. You have to like tropical flavors. It is so good. It is smooth and creamy, and it tastes kind of desserty because it's sweeter because of that coconut. But oh my gosh, it's a little glass and it's $16.50. So you're going to think, did I just get ripped off?
No,
you did not.
You
did not get ripped off. You got the best drink in the park.
And again, shout out to John for that one. Thank you for introducing us to that, because that's going to be my go-to now every time we go to Victoria Falls.
Not only that, but we're going to go to Victoria Falls just to get this drink.
That's true. If you're over at Sanaa, they do have their own lounge over there. It's open from 4 to 11 as well, and is really more for waiting for Sanaa. I don't know that it's going to be as much of a draw as Victoria Falls.
Yeah, it actually doesn't even have its own name. It's just called the Sanaa Lounge. But we did hear that you can get a drink and you can get the bread service here. So that's a bonus.
You can also get menu items from Sanaa to go there as well, and you can mobile order it. So if you're staying at Kidani Village or Jambo House, you can order on the app and then go over and pick it up and take it back to your room.
There are also pool bars at the pool at Jambo House, which does have a water slide, by the way. So if you're into that, check that one out. And there is a pool bar also at Kidani Village at their pool. So if you enjoy a pool bar, they are there for you as well. Let's talk about the store real quick.
Oh, yeah.
We forgot to talk about Zawadi Marketplace.
You would think that this store was right out of Animal Kingdom. It is. It's basically just like the same merchandise you're going to see over at the theme park, along with the grab-and-go stuff that you would have at the hotels. I found a brand new polo shirt that had the Animal Kingdom Lodge on it. I'm actually wearing an Animal Kingdom Lodge shirt right now. So I actually have two from
Well
there,
done.
which I just love. But they have the carved animals, and they have, of course, all of the Lion King plush, because that's the main thing. But things that you find at the theme park, you'll find here at the resort, which it makes it very unique in the way of a resort gift shop. And I love that.
It does. And the cast members there, excellent. They are so knowledgeable, and they were so, so friendly. We had everything shipped that we had purchased all weekend long. We took it down there with our receipts and had them ship it home. And she was great. She was so fast. She was so efficient, super friendly. Great. I mean, cast members are always the magic. So always make sure that you're taking a moment to recognize them. But we should mention that coming up this year, they've just started construction. So there are going to be some construction noises going on. If you are planning a trip to Animal Kingdom Lodge this year, 2025, through the beginning of 2026, know that if you are doing a vacation like we just did, where you're there during the day, you probably are going to hear some construction noises. Yeah, they're going to be renovating the rooms, which I cannot figure out why, because the rooms to me were perfect. They were the best rooms on property that I've seen. And they're going to redo them at Jumbo House. Now, our room was on the Kudu Trail. They're all named after trails. Ours was on the Kudu Trail, and they are starting construction on the Zebra Trail, which is the complete opposite end of the hotel. Maybe those are older rooms and need renovation. That's a good point. I don't know. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. That's true. But it will be zone by zone. Yes. So that's something to just note, that if you get there and see that they're working on one section, you can ask, if you haven't checked in yet at the front desk, to be checked into a different area, a different trail. Right. So just ask about that. I do want to point out real quick, this wasn't even on our list to talk about, but because we were there on a holiday weekend, there were some special events going on. There's always special events going on at hotels. There's classes you can do, crafts, character meet and greets. There's stuff going on all the time. And those are always listed in the lobby. When we were there, because it was a holiday weekend, there were a couple of extra things. So always make sure that you're checking the signage in the lobby or asking one of those fantastic cast members what's going on while you're there, especially if you're doing a trip where you are focusing on your resort like we did with Animal Kingdom, because you may want to participate in something that is unique to where you're staying. Make sure when you're in the lobby, go look at the giant headdress right in the center of the lobby. You're going to think this is just a piece of art. Somebody puts this on their head. One person. Have a clue how. You're not even going to recognize it as a headdress. So look around, because it is bigger than you think it is. It is ginormous, and it is beautiful, and someone wears it on their head. So I'm just going to leave you with that. So let's talk about this. Was it worth the money? I'm going to say yes. For the first time in a long time, I'm going to say that the money spent on a deluxe resort, Savannah View, is worth it. Even at the highest rate, if you can afford it, of course. If you cannot, like us, look for those deals. They're on the Disney website. Always check the deals to make sure that there's something available. If you book far enough out, or if you book during off-season, or if you're part of Disney Plus, or a Florida resident, or an annual pass holder, there are always going to be discounts on these rooms. I am also going to say it was absolutely worth it, 100% worth it, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. Knowing that the exact room that we stayed in can run up to almost $1,000 a night is mind-boggling to me. Just that kind of money. But the experience we had, I feel like it's worth it. We can't afford $1,000 a night. No. But we did make it work when we did find this rate for, it was $320 something. It was $385 after taxes. After tax, it was right about $400, or just under $400, because we paid just under $800 for 2 nights. So for us, that is an extraordinary amount of money to spend on a hotel. Yeah, seriously. But because it was bucket list, because we chose to focus on the resort and not try to mix in park days. We also didn't do park days because it was July 4th weekend and they were going to be a mess. Minor detail. 100,000 people at Magic Kingdom. No, thank you. Because we've said so many times we do not do Disney World at all in the summer, and we broke our rule because of this deal. Oh my gosh. The heat and the crowds. But staying inside the resort or even walking outside just to see the animals, absolutely worth it. Absolutely. And I would 100% do it again. With a deal. Right. And if you are going to do it, or if this is something that you have done, We definitely want to hear what your experience was. Would you recommend it as well? I'd just love to know if you think it was worth it, because we definitely did.
Before we go, we'd like to give a big thank you to our theme music composer, Jason Patrick Rowan, whose music is licensed through Pond 5. And of course, thank you, Phoenicians.
Thank you, Phoenicians. And don't forget to rate, review, like, share, and subscribe. This really does help other people find us, and it helps us out a lot if you can take time to do it. You can find us on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts.
The Epcotian Adventure is a $1,000 brunch production and a proud gold member of D23. Thanks for joining us today for episode 121 of the Epcotian Adventure. I'm Rod.
And I'm Sue.
And we'll see you at the Animal Kingdom Live.
Baharina.
Thank the Phoenicians.
Zibidi-doo-dah.
Look how 70 Doodah. 70. First name 70. Last name Doodah. Sorry, don't use it. Okay.
Brian Regan moment. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Back on track.